All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. And I'm back here. It is Saturday night. It is Saturday, of course, September the 13th of 2025. So I'm here for my second video of the night. Just got off a day's work, relaxing, chilling out here. It's a little past 10 p.m., approaching 11 p.m. Got through watching the back end of AEW Collision, and I went ahead and I got the results for the rest. And I might go back and check out the rest later, but Collision was a decent enough show. And so, yeah, so we are about a week away from AEW's next big pay-per-view, that being All Out, which is going to be next Saturday, the 20th of September, which, of course, on the same day, WWE will have their WrestlePalooza, show, which they attempted to counter-program AEW with All Out, but then AEW moved All Out start time from 7, its original start time, to 3, so they're basically getting a head start on WWE, so, it is what it is on that. But yeah, so I want to do this video because I want to talk about something that is actually going to happen this weekend, and in fact, it is going to happen tomorrow. So as all of you may be aware, the NFL season is officially here. We're now going into week 2 of the NFL season. We had the first game on Thursday, where we had the Packers and the Commanders in Green Bay. The Packers won that game. Of course, I forget what the final score was, but the Packers won that game fairly handily, which sucks. The Commanders are actually my father's favorite team, or the team that he roots for. So, the Commanders lost this one, so the Commanders right now are 1-1. But anyway, so tomorrow we're gonna have the bulk of the week 2 games, and so one of those games will be the Ravens home opener in Baltimore, their first game of their first home game of the 2025 NFL season. Which of course will be emanating from downtown Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. They would be hosting the Cleveland Browns. And just a reminder for those of you who may have forgotten, yours truly will be at that game. I will be in attendance live for that game. Of course, I talked about this in a multitude of videos. I made an entire video basically announcing the fact that I will be, this will be my first ever Ravens home game that I will be a part of, the first ever NFL game that I will be attending live. And so, yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And we are now less than a day away, literally a half a day away from that taking place. So, yeah, so got a day off. So looking forward to seeing what happens on the Ravens home opener. I know it's going to be packed. Ravens fans are, if you don't know, Ravens fans, especially downtown, for their home opener, Ravens fans are pretty passionate. So I know that place is going to be packed. I know it's going to be, the fans are going to be hyped up. The energy is going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see what all happens. And so, Ravens and Browns week 2. The Ravens coming off a rather bad loss. I mean, you guys saw the video I made. I mean, it's the Sunday night game, which was fucking just atrocious. The Ravens had the goddamn 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they choked it away to lose by a goddamn point. Lost that game last Sunday night in a Sunday Night Football. Embarrassed themselves in front of the fucking world. Lost that game to the fucking Bills 41-40. Just an embarrassing fucking loss. Like, you had the goddamn game won, and you can't even hold a fucking lead. 15-point. You can't even hold a 15-point fucking lead. A 2-possession lead with fucking 5 minutes to go in the goddamn fourth. It's like, that shit was embarrassing. And you guys saw, I made a whole video talking about it. I made a whole video fucking just displaying my fucking vitriol about that loss. It was like, it's ridiculous. It's like the same shit, but a different year. And I hope that they don't replicate that with this. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll replicate that with this game, because the Browns are not the Bills, but But yeah, so I want to go ahead and make this video because I wanted to kind of preview this game here. This week 2 game, the Ravens home opener against the Browns. Again, divisional opponent. Not going to be an easy game. And this game has a little something more significant, because the Browns starting quarterback for this game will be former longtime Ravens starter, and yours truly's, if you don't know, he was my favorite quarterback for the longest time. He was the MVP of the team, regardless of what anybody says. Longtime Ravens starting quarterback, that being, of course, the man himself, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco will be starting for the Cleveland Browns. This will be Joe Flacco's first appearance in Baltimore, first appearance in M&T Bank Stadium on an opposing team. since he left. The Ravens, Joe Flacco's played against the Ravens before, like when he was the starter for the Jets. That was a couple years ago, week 1, but that was in New York. That was the Jets' home opener. This will be the first time Joe Flacco returns to M&T Bank Stadium as part of an opposing team since he left the team back in 2018. 2018 or 29, whatever year it was. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty significant, you know. And to be honest with you guys, I'm honestly conflicted with this because obviously, you know, Ravens, of course, I'm a Ravens fan for you know, for a long haul, ride or die, if you will. You kind of saw that last week, that passionate video, where, you know, again, with my displaying my vitriol, my disappointment for the Ravens losing. But I'm a ride or die Ravens fan. I have been for forever, since 2008. You know, almost 20 years. Been a fan of the Ravens, Baltimore sports fan, and all that. And the Ravens are my team. Obviously, they're going to remain my team, so on and so forth. But the Browns come into this, and they got a guy in Joe Flacco who I was a fan of for a long time. Joe Flacco was my guy. And Joe Flacco continues to be my... Like, I get it, he's no longer with the team. But to me, Joe Flacco has always been the guy for me. Joe Flacco has always been the man. He was the man back then. To me, even though, you know, he's kind of been on and off, you know, he's been bounced from team to team because no team really truly commits to him. We saw what Joe Flacco did for the Browns a couple seasons ago when he took them to the playoffs, you know, for the first time in God knows how long. They had like, what, an 11-5 or 11-6 record, whatever it was, and they were one of the hottest teams in the AFC at the time. Now, granted, they got bounced in the first round when they got to the playoffs, but it is what it is. Joe Flacco was a big reason why the Browns were competitive that year. And we've seen what Joe Flacco can do with a team that gets behind him, with a franchise that gets behind him. Now, the question is, will the Browns be a franchise that get behind them again? That remains to be seen. But do not discount Joe Flacco and his ability, because he is the X factor to this game. To me, what Joe Flacco does decides what happens in this game. And like I said, I'm conflicted because the Ravens are my team, and that will not change. But Joe Flacco is the man. You know, Joe Flacco is the man. And I'm still very much a Joe Flacco guy, even if he is on the hapless Cleveland Browns. So, Ravens versus Joe Flacco, man. We'll see what happens. And like I said, I will be in attendance for this game, and I'm telling you, it's going to be something special. Home opener, first home game of the season, it's going to be something special. You know, again, the crowd is going to be raucous. There's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be hyped up, and obviously I'm going to be taking, you know, photos and videos and all that kind of stuff, and I'll be sharing them here on this channel, much like I did years ago when I attended that Orioles game, much like I did for the wrestling shows I was part of this year, the AEW show and the TNA show, and I also did Otakon. Of course, I uploaded a video documenting that, showing my experience at Otakon on my Phantom Anime Reviewer channel, and this is going to be more of the same. I'll be doing the same thing here with this Ravens home opener tomorrow. 1 p.m. obviously, of course, 1 p.m. start time. These are the Sunday afternoon games, so we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. The Ravens, this is definitely a game they have to win. A game I think they will win, but once again, don't discount. Don't look past Joe Flacco, man. He can make things happen, dude. Like, again, I said it before, he is the X factor. He is the true X factor of this game. How he plays will dictate how this game will go. And you cannot look past Joe Flacco at all. And the Ravens would be making a huge mistake if they are looking past Joe Flacco. So, you know, we saw what happened in that fucking fourth quarter where you fucking choked away a 15-point lead. I don't think that's going to happen in this game, but I'm just saying, you know, they can't let the same mistake happen twice. That defense, I don't know what the fuck they were doing last week, but they need to get the shit together this week because Joe Flacco is no joke. He's no joke. You know, I'm just saying. And this is a division opponent, you know, even though, again, the Browns have been like a last-place team the last several years in the AFC North. Division opponents always play you different because division opponents, you know, a divisional opponent, regardless of how bad they are, they'll always play against, you know, opposing teams in division, you know, pretty well. And the Browns are no exception. And they showed a stat earlier. I happened to see it on the screen. I think I was watching NFL Network earlier that the Browns and the Ravens have split their season series each of the last 4 years. So the Ravens have lost at least one game to the Browns the last several years, even though the Browns have been pretty much a lackluster team, you know, for the longest time. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, I'm conflicted. It's going to be my team versus my guy, my former guy, Joe Flacco. I'm very much a Joe Flacco guy. And we'll see what happens, dude. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Again, I'm hyped up just thinking about it. I'm hyped up, amped up. I got a jersey. My if you remember, I showed my number 9 Justin Tucker jersey. I'm gonna be wearing that to the game, and of course, probably my Ravens cap and all that. And I got my seat, I got my ticket, and all that. And so I'm ready for tomorrow, man. I'm ready for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun. Regardless of what happens, it's gonna be fun. Obviously, the Ravens need to win. The Ravens must win. They cannot afford to go 0-2. They cannot afford to go in the whole 0-2, especially playing at home. And again, Joe Flacco's my man. He's my guy. But the Ravens have to win this game. They have to. They have to win this game. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, It's going to be interesting to see that crowd reaction to Joe Flacco. Him returning to Baltimore for the first time in years. Since, like I said, 2018. Since he was on the team before, obviously, Lamar Jackson took over. But yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so that's pretty much it for that. So obviously my prediction, I got the Ravens winning. I do think it's going to be close. I don't think the Ravens will necessarily run away with it. Maybe late they do. I do think they win by maybe 7 to 10 points. I do think they will win this game because they have to. And so, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this. So, looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow. Ravens home opener, Ravens, Browns, divisional opponent, week 2, M&T Bank Stadium. Place is going to be rocking. It's going to be, that crowd is going to be amped up. And, yeah, it's going to be a fun experience, for me personally. First ever Ravens game, first ever Ravens home game I'll be attending, first ever NFL game I'll be attending. So yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of clips, videos I'll be posting on here, maybe shorts or maybe just straight up, uploads. Photo, I'm going to be taking pictures of the arena, of the stadium, and pictures of what happens on the field and all that kind of stuff, and uploading it into my social media, so you'll be seeing that on here tomorrow. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you can get, and with that being said, it's pretty much going to do it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm going to wrap this up for now. I might do another video overnight. It all depends, because there's a few things, that have happened, a few news stories that I might get my thoughts on. But if not, if I don't do a video, if I don't do another video tonight, I will see you all tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, so looking forward to it. But till then, thanks for watching. Wrestling Otaku signing off. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good rest of your weekend. See you all in the next video. For now, I'm out. Peace.